Beautiful music brought to you by the wonderful world of dominant chords, also known as seventh chords, also known as bluesy chords, although you find them in all kinds of music. So today let's look at the top 5 dominant chords you're going to need, and along the way I'll show you some tricks and a great song. Check it out. So let's start alphabetically with the A7. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a short version of the video. For the complete version, become a member of my website, Songbike, right down there. Okay, so A7. You need 2nd string, 2nd fret, 4th string, 2nd fret. Right now I'm using my index and middle. I could use my middle and ring, same locations. No matter which fingers you use, you want to take a spare finger and also add on, whenever you want to, as an option, add on the 1st string, 3rd fret. It's just the note G, it's a high G. Now we already have the note G here, the 3rd skinny string open. That's in there anyways, but by doubling it up, by adding that high G, it adds a nice bluesy touch. Now you might say, hey, but what about the note E that we had, that nice trebly open E string? Isn't that important? Well, we already have the note E. It's what my index finger is fretting there on the 4th string, 2nd fret. So one E is enough, but adding on the extra G is a nice touch. Officially, when you strum the A7, you don't include the 6th string. Okay, now let's have some fun. How about this fingering instead? I'm making a bar across 4 treble strings at the 2nd fret with my index, and I'm using my ring finger. You could use any of the remaining fingers. I like my ring finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. Now, a dominant chord has 4 notes that make up the chord. I've got all 4 under my fingertips. So technically, I don't even need the 2 bass strings, and that's convenient because watch this. I now have every possible 7th chord literally at my fingertips, okay? So you can use this grip right here, this what I call a closed position grip, to play 7th chords all up and down the neck any way you want to go. You just have to know the names of them, right? So an A7, an A sharp 7, a B7. Now, if you're not clear on how to figure out the names of the chord as you go up and down the neck, you got to watch my video series called Music Theory for Guitarists, okay? You're going to be glad you did. And that's going to open up this whole world to you, you know, of taking this one grip and moving it up and down the neck. Okay, 2 more details about the A7 before we move on. An A7 is a common formation when you're thinking of bar chords, when teachers are teaching you bar chords. Right now I'm doing A7 with my ring and pinky, same locations, 2nd string, 2nd fret with my pinky, 4th string, 2nd fret with my ring finger. My index is hovering right here at the nut of the guitar just to kind of prove a point. It's not really doing anything to affect the sound, but as soon as I move my hand up one, I've got all these 7th chords waiting for me in the bar formation, specifically the A7 bar formation. So if you need some work on bar chords, today's a good day to do that. I have a video called Top 5 Tips for Mastering Bar Chords. And this A7 formation is a common bar chord. Okay, one last little detail. Let's have fun with the A7 chord in its simplest 2-finger form. Let's turn it into a turnaround. So right now I'm using my middle finger and my ring finger. I'm at the 2nd fret. Now before I begin my little bluesy turnaround here, I'm going to glide up 3 frets, 1, 2, 3, so they're both behind the 5th fret. Now with my picking hand, I'm plucking down on the 4th string at the same time that I'm plucking up with my bare middle finger. I'm doing that at the same time. It's called hybrid picking. And now I can get a nice little turnaround, go like this. 5th fret to 4th, to 3rd, to the 2nd. And to wrap it up, 4th string, I just did open 1st fret, 2nd fret on the 4th string. One more time. Here it comes. How about B7 next? Middle finger, 5th string, 2nd fret. That's actually the note B right there. Index finger, 4th string, 1st fret. Ring finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret. I'm going to pause right there. See how your fingers have now made a nice little triangle? Okay, keep that in mind. The open 2nd string. And then 4th finger, pinky, 2nd fret of the 1st string. Not an easy chord, right? 4 fingers kind of crammed in there. We're going to avoid the 6th string for now, although in a minute I'm going to show you how you can include that 6th string. And there's your B7 chord, a very important chord because the key of E is super common in guitar, and the B7 chord shows up a lot in the key of E, whether it's blues, country, rock and roll, you name it. Okay, so there's our B7 chord. Definitely worth working on, okay? If you don't quite have it yet, that's okay. Definitely worth working on. Okay, now, I mentioned the 6th string. See what my middle finger's doing right there? It's reaching over to get the note F sharp. Guess what? F sharp is a great note in this context. We have a very high F sharp under your pinky right there. I'm getting a low F sharp 2 octaves lower there on the 6th string, 2nd fret. By the way, just then I was doing a boom chick strum. I hit the 5th string and a strum on the remaining skinny strings, and then I hit the 6th string, middle finger, 2nd fret, and that same strum, boom chick, boom chick, boom chick, boom chick, boom chick. Okay, nice. Now one last little detail, which actually is a huge thing. I mentioned earlier that 7th chords are 4-note chords, and they are, but you can imply chords. Meaning that cute little triangle shape that I mentioned earlier, those 3 notes are enough to imply a B7 chord. No pinky, no 1st string, no 2nd string, no 6th string. Those 3 notes right there, those 3 are enough to imply a B7 chord. And again, that means we can move this up and down the neck. I went from the 1st and 2nd frets of B7 up to the 6th and 7th frets in E7. How about 2 more frets? I'm now at the 8th and 9th frets. That's an F sharp 7. We now have a nice 1, 4, 5. I'm just making this up. I'm just doing little arpeggios. Don't worry too much about my right hand. Okay, you can play a whole 12-bar blues with that triangle grip. That's how I conceive of it in my head, that triangle grip. Okay? Now, you have to be careful with your pick, right? You no longer can strum lots of strings. You can only strum the ones you're touching, but you now have a great world here. By the way, there's a fantastic book called Art of the Shuffle by Dave Rubin. I recommend this book. I can't recommend it highly enough. In fact, any book you ever see written by Dave Rubin, get yourself a copy. From that book, I learned this great riff. He teaches it higher up the neck, but you get the idea here. It's that B7 chord and a nice little run. 6th string, 2nd fret, 5th string open, 5th string, 1st fret with your index finger, and then back to the chord. Okay, YouTubers, now there's a lot more I want to show you about dominant 7th chords. To see the rest of this video and lots of other great videos not available on YouTube, check out my website, Songbank, where you can become a member and access a lot of great content. Hey, by the way, playing dominant chords is one thing. Knowing the music theory behind them is just as important. I have a great series of videos called Music Theory for Guitarists. Some of them are available on YouTube, but they're all available through my website. Okay, everybody, that's my sales pitch. Please become a member today, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.